a delay in Kanpur as bad light has stopped play in the second and final test of the two-match series between India and Bangladesh. Well, at the time, the play was stopped due to bad light. Bangladesh were 107 for 3. Well, the two batters, Mominul Haq and their skipper Najmul Hussain Shanto, they began the proceedings after lunch, but then soon Ashwin trapped the Bangladesh skipper in front and he had to depart after making a useful contribution. But since then, it's been Mominul Haq and Mushfiqur Rahim who have held fort for the visitors. But then, the dark clouds hovered over the Kanpur Stadium, the Green Park Stadium, and then umpires then did have a chat with both the teams, and the batters were actually offered light, and they decided to go by the umpire's decision. But then it's got a little too gloomy around the Kanpur Stadium, and that's why the two teams have gone off, and they would just hope that things improve in a few minutes time, or maybe very soon, so that the play can resume and obviously the fans can witness the two teams play.
And it's also about the bowlers who are bowling. If there were spinners in action on from both ends, we have to also remember that it's Jasprit Bumrah from one end, for whom it's not easy to sort of side the ball when the conditions are that way. And it's getting quite gloomy. We have seen the floodlights being turned on since the day's play actually began. But now things were started to get even more gloomy, and I just hope that this just stays till, because we have seen the weather sort of open up in between. Also, we saw sunlight. Also, I just hope it stays to bad light only, because I think that issue can still be addressed very soon. I just hope the rain doesn't come in so that we see any further delay. But India at this point, I feel is now getting desperate to get those wickets. And why I'm saying this is because you have seen Jasprit Bumrah bowl quite a huge chunk of the overs that have been bowled till now. 35 overs to be precise. He has bowled, went on to bowl 9. Only Ashwin and Akashdeep are the two other bowlers who have bowled 9 and 10 overs each, and Mohammad Siraj has bowled 7. So Jasprit Bumrah also, we should remember, he's playing two matches. This is back to back. Last Test match, if memory serves me right, 24 overs is
21.
the total number of overs he bowled in that whole Test match. He has already bowled half of those overs already now, and it's just day one, just 35 overs into the innings, just 3 wickets down Bangladesh. So Bangladesh, maybe this the interruption in game might sort of go against them, but India at this point would be looking to end this wicket. And I think India, when they at the toss, would have thought about the fact that even if they do not have a great day, if it's just a decent day, they're not as per they want, then India would be looking to come out to bat today itself. That's at least what the Indian team would have planned about. But as things stand now, we're just halfway, not even halfway into the second session, and we have seen a delay in the game as of now.
Absolutely, and I think before we get to the discussion surrounding India's performance, well, there's an update that the pitch has been covered. Well, it's more of a precautionary measure in case there is a downpour. But then even Shashwat had did a proper weather report stating that the rain is actually predicted during this time of the day. So there's a chance that the delay that we have had because of the bad light, it might just continue, probably because of the fact that there is rain expected at this time around. But then coming back to what you've said about Jasprit Bumrah's workload, well, then we also have to take this thing into perspective, that if Bumrah is fit, then why wouldn't you really want to play him at a very consistent rate? And that's what I think the Indian cricket team is doing. Because if you continue to just keep him rested for all those matches, then and straight away let's say have him for the all important Border Gavaskar trophy, then I think it wouldn't really serve right to himself, and obviously to his body also. So let him just get into the groove. Maybe he's played obviously 2 matches here now. Who knows, he might just go on to play a couple of more matches in New Zealand and maybe 3 or 4 in Australia. So I think it's just about managing his workload, and obviously he has returned very fit after that back injury that he had last year. So anyways, I think his fitness is improved. Maybe he trusts his body a lot more, and so is also the case with the Indian team management. So yeah, why not persist with him?
I totally agree with you. I think that's the reason also he was playing this test match. But again, what I mentioned earlier also, there is not too much juice and help for the fast bowlers in this wicket. And what
Yeah.
does actually does is that Bumrah would have to push that extra mile to sort of do that. That would also take a lot of load on his body. And as of now, till now, I think Bumrah has bowled lots of the overs, and I think moving on in this test match, you'll have to sort of get him in bursts now. As of
Yeah.
now, also he's bowling in bursts, but it's also the majority chunk of the overs. So going ahead in the test match is also about sort of maintaining how his workload in the test match itself. So these things will be talked about. I think not in this innings, at least not in this session. Moving ahead in this test match on day 2, day 3, that how much should Jasprit Bumrah be actually bowling, because 15 days gap after this he'll have a good time, but you would not want to risk him just for the at the beginning of the test season of your test season.
Absolutely. So we have, I think, one more update before we just take a couple of comments and wrap things up. So even a lot of areas of the outfield have been covered now. So obviously, I think the ground staff, they are expecting rain to come at any time. So I think, yeah, that's good preparation. And King D has a comment that,
You're taking
oh sorry, Sports Fan has a comment that Bangladesh batters have been very lucky to both Bumrah and Akashdeep. I think this was the thing that even I was, speaking with you after the first session here. Yes, the number of outside edges that haven't really carried. I think we can probably make a list of them, and that the scorecard wouldn't really show the brilliant bowling that the Indian pacers have done. Specifically, Akashdeep and Bumrah, who have actually got the ball to skid on a lot. And in Abhishek Rawat also has a comment that Bangladesh played really well when no one would have imagined that they will play this good cricket. Simply remarkable. Yes, obviously they've adjusted well to the conditions after being tested early on, but then I think there's still a long way to go in this match. So stay tuned to Sports Today. Keep subscribing, keep pressing the bell icon, and even you like our videos, and we'll keep you posted about all the latest updates of the India Bangladesh test and everything that's going on across the sporting world.